Freedom is one of the most powerful words ever spoken. People have fought wars for it, died for it, and built entire civilizations around it. We tell ourselves that freedom means choice, happiness, comfort, and progress. But what if freedom doesn't disappear through chains and violence? What if it vanishes quietly, through pleasure, convenience, and endless entertainment? This is the terrifying question Aldous Huxley forces us to confront in Brave New World. Huxley didn't imagine a future ruled by fear, torture, or totalitarian terror. He imagined something far more seductive. A world where people are happy. Where suffering is eliminated. Where no one feels lonely, bored, or anxious. Where science solves every human problem. And yet, in this perfectly stable society, freedom is gone. Not stolen, willingly surrendered. Published in 1932, Brave New World was written at a time when the world was obsessed with industrial progress, mass production, and scientific control. Henry Ford had revolutionized manufacturing with the assembly line, and efficiency became the new religion. Huxley looked at this worship of efficiency and asked a dangerous question: what happens when human beings are treated like products? In the world state, humans are no longer born, they are manufactured. From the moment of conception, each individual is engineered for a specific role. Alphas are designed to rule. Epsilons are designed to obey. Intelligence, strength, even emotional capacity are carefully controlled. Inequality is not just accepted, it is biologically programmed. And because people never chose their place, they never question it. This is the first illusion of freedom: if you never experience alternatives, you never feel imprisoned. The citizens of Brave New World believe they are free because they feel content. They do what they are conditioned to enjoy. They want exactly what the system wants them to want. There is no rebellion because there is no dissatisfaction. Huxley understood something profound about human psychology. Control does not require force if desire itself is engineered. Why punish people when you can train them to love their servitude? From childhood, citizens are conditioned through sleep teaching, hypnopedia. Moral values are repeated thousands of times while children sleep, sinking directly into the subconscious. Everyone belongs to everyone else. Ending is better than mending. Consumption is the highest duty. These ideas are never debated. They are never challenged. They are absorbed as truth. This is not censorship in the traditional sense. Books are not burned because no one wants to read them. Deep thinking feels uncomfortable. Silence feels unnatural. Reflection feels dangerous. Pleasure has replaced thought. And here lies Huxley's most chilling insight: the greatest threat to freedom is not oppression, but distraction. In Brave New World, people are constantly entertained. Music, casual sex, synthetic pleasures, and endless novelty keep the population docile. There is no time to ask existential questions because discomfort is immediately numbed. Feeling sad? Take Soma. Feeling confused? Take Soma. Feeling restless? Take Soma. Soma is the perfect drug. No hangover. No consequences. No pain. It delivers instant happiness without effort. It erases suffering, but also erases depth. There is no need for courage, resilience, or meaning when pain is chemically deleted. Huxley saw what many still refuse to accept: suffering is not just a flaw of life, it is a teacher. Remove suffering entirely, and you remove growth. You remove art, philosophy, religion, love, and individuality. You remove everything that makes life meaningful. In the world state, people are happy, but their happiness is shallow. It is the happiness of animals fed and entertained. It is not the happiness of free beings who choose their values and confront reality. Huxley warns us that a society obsessed with comfort will trade truth for pleasure without even noticing. Freedom, in Huxley's world, does not vanish overnight. It dissolves slowly as people become addicted to ease. When everything is provided, nothing is earned. When nothing is earned, nothing is valued. And when nothing is valued, freedom becomes irrelevant. This is why Brave New World is far more disturbing than stories of brutal dictatorships. In George Orwell's 1984, people know they are oppressed. In Huxley's world, people are enslaved by what they love. There is no rebellion because there is no awareness of loss. Huxley predicted a future where control would not come through censorship, but through overload. Not through silence, but through noise. Not through pain, but through pleasure. Look around today. We carry devices that deliver infinite entertainment, instant gratification, and constant stimulation. We are never bored, but we are rarely present. Algorithms decide what we see, what we buy, what we desire. We are told this is freedom of choice, yet our choices are increasingly predictable, nudged, optimized, and monetized. We are encouraged to consume endlessly, replace rather than repair, distract rather than reflect. Discomfort is treated as a disease. Silence is treated as a problem. The modern world is not forcing us to obey, it is training us to comply by keeping us comfortable. Huxley understood that people will give up freedom voluntarily if it promises happiness without responsibility. Real freedom is demanding. It requires self-control, critical thought, and the courage to face uncomfortable truths. Illusory freedom requires nothing but participation. One of the most important characters in Brave New World is John, the so-called savage. Raised outside the world state, he experiences pain, longing, love, and loss. He reads Shakespeare. He struggles. He suffers. But through suffering, he becomes fully human. When John enters the world state, he is horrified. He sees a society that has sacrificed depth for stability, meaning for comfort, truth for pleasure. He refuses Soma. He refuses casual pleasure. He refuses a life without pain because he understands that without pain, there is no choice, and without choice, there is no freedom. In one of the novel's most powerful moments, John declares his right to be unhappy. He demands the freedom to suffer, to age, to fail, to struggle. He understands what the world controller cannot admit: a life without suffering is not a human life, it is a managed existence. The world controller argues that art, religion, and philosophy were sacrificed for stability. People don't need God when they have Soma. They don't need meaning when they have comfort. They don't need freedom when they are satisfied. This is Huxley's ultimate warning: when happiness becomes the highest value, freedom becomes expendable. A society that prioritizes pleasure above all else will slowly eliminate anything that disrupts pleasure, including truth, individuality, and independent thought. Freedom is messy. It creates conflict. It produces suffering. And that makes it inconvenient for systems built on efficiency and control. Huxley was not against science or progress. He was against unexamined progress. He feared a world where technology advances faster than wisdom, where power grows without responsibility, where humans become tools of systems they no longer understand. Freedom, in Brave New World, is not taken by tyrants. It is abandoned by citizens who no longer see its value. And that is why the novel remains so relevant today. We are told that more convenience equals more freedom. But convenience often replaces competence. We are told that more choice equals more autonomy. But endless choices can overwhelm rather than empower. We are told that comfort equals happiness. But comfort without meaning leads to emptiness. Huxley's message is not that pleasure is evil, but that pleasure without limits is dangerous. When pleasure becomes the purpose of life, life loses its depth. When avoiding discomfort becomes the highest goal, growth becomes impossible. True freedom is not the ability to satisfy every desire, it is the ability to choose wisely which desires deserve our obedience. The illusion of freedom is seductive because it feels good. It asks nothing from us. It promises happiness without effort. But real freedom demands something uncomfortable: responsibility. It demands that we think instead of react. That we endure discomfort instead of numbing it. That we choose meaning over ease. Huxley forces us to ask a question that no comfortable society likes to hear: if everything is provided, what is left for the soul to do? In the end, Brave New World is not a prediction, it is a mirror. It reflects a future that does not arrive through violence, but through consent. Through entertainment. Through distraction. Through pleasure. Freedom does not disappear when it is forbidden. It disappears when it is no longer desired. And perhaps the most dangerous prison is the one where the inmates believe they are free.